What's up guys, I'm Taylor with TK Disc Golf. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are reviewing the Range from Streamline Discs. It is their latest putt and approach disc, and man, this thing is an absolute unique one. It's got the flight numbers 2 speed, 1 glide, minus 0.5 turn, and 1 fade, with a unique puddle top to it. It is the first puddle top slash thumb track putter from the MVP, Axiom, or Streamline brands, and this thing is an absolute blast to throw off the tee. So with all that being said, let's get started on the review. I'm going to start off with the hand feel simply because this is such a unique disc to the MVP, Axiom, Streamline brands. Obviously with MVP Axiom being overmolded discs, a low glide putter really isn't a possibility because the overmold really does add a good glide boost to the disc. But with Streamline being a solo mold brand, they're able to do fun, unique things like this, and I'm really excited they finally got around to it because this is something that a lot of people have been begging for, a low glide putt and approach disc that is just able to be used for distance control. And really this one feels really great in the hand. It's got a little bit lower profile than a Berg, I think. I wish I had a Berg to compare to for you guys, but I don't own one. But from memory, it feels a little bit lower profile to me, and honestly a lot more comfortable. The Berg has like a weird rounded edge on the inside of the rim from memory, and this one has a nice 90-degree angle, and it just feels so comfortable to me. The first release of the Range is going to be for the Space Race 2024, and it's going to be offered in their Glow 2.0 plastic. I think they're going to have several different color options, but I've got the green and the blue color glows, and they look absolutely awesome and feel amazing. Now moving on to some field work, I have to agree with the flight numbers to a T. On a hyzer release, it really doesn't want to start drifting left at all like a Berg would. If you threw a Berg on a hyzer, it's going to dump hard, versus this, it holds a hyzer and still flies straight for the majority of its flight, and we'll get a little bit of a dump at the end, but not too badly. Put it on a small hyzer and it will flip up the flat and fly on an absolute rope for you, maybe a slight little bit drift to the right depending on how much torque you put on it, but overall resulting in it a laser straight flight. Now putting them on anhyzer, it'll hold the anhyzer really well, but it doesn't really get much left to right movement. It is such a slow disc and doesn't have much turn to it that it just wants to get to the ground, and overall resulting in maybe like 15 to 20 feet of drift to the right when thrown on a good anhyzer. Now taking the Range to the course, this putter is going to really excel on those holes that are like 200 feet to maybe 230 to 240, and you don't want to go past the basket. You want to land short because there might be danger behind it, or there might be rough back there, or you're really just kind of trying to control your distance, and this is what the disc is going to be great for. Many times I'll grab my Watt and that thing has so much glide it'll just cruise past the basket, and I wasn't even trying to. Yes, I know that you should learn how to have touch with your game, but the Range really allows you to still put power on the disc and not crush past the basket. Another big use for the Range will be for approach shots, especially the forehands for me. Oftentimes when I throw a forehand approach with a putter, I have to give full power on it to get it to fly correctly, and oftentimes again that will result in the disc flying past the basket, leaving me with a long putt I didn't intend to. Versus the Range, I can throw it confidently hard with good power, and it's only going to fly like that 150 range or so on a forehand line for me. And then also for some nice anhyzer patent pendings where you can give it some nice oomph, it's going to get to the basket up and down quick and get right under the basket without shooting past it. Now one last thing I want to bring up on this review is the Berg versus the Range comparisons people have been making the past week since the PDGA approved this disc. And I gotta say, the Range is not a Berg, and it's not going to replace your Berg. If you're an MVP fan that loves the Berg for its overstability and low glide, this is not overstable. It's definitely got the low glide aspect for sure, but it is very much a neutral flying disc, super straight. It can complement your Berg very well. If you oftentimes find yourself having to throw anhyzer crazy with a Berg to try to get it to fly straight, this can complement it very well. You don't have to throw it on an anhyzer to get it to fly straight. You can throw it pretty much flat or with a smudge of hyzer, and it'll just go laser straight for you and get the same distance control that your Berg has. So good complement for it, but is not a one-to-one replacement like some people were hoping. Alrighty guys, that concludes our review video of the Streamline Range. If you're looking to pick up one of these, be sure to hit up one of your local TDs to run a space race event this fall. They start sometime in September and will run till about like November, I believe. But yeah, that's the only way you're going to be able to get one of these first release Ranges from Streamline. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our future uploads, and we will see you on the next one.